again, it's Kennard Vernon Stewart doing another CarCast. And, you know, at first I wasn't going to talk about the NFL draft, but I just got to do it. Go ahead and smash the subscribe button, the like button. Also, check me out. I was actually on War Report for their Facts or Nah. They wanted to know if Smoke Monday is going to win the Thorpe. They want to know if Auburn is going to be one of the better defenses in the country. Go ahead and check that out. Like the video, comment, and subscribe to the channel, Vernon Speaks Sports Auburn. I'm all over the place. You can check me out on Mark Rogers TV as well. And also, I want to make an appearance on the All About Auburn page as well with my buddy Devin Dawson. As always, it's great to be an Auburn Tiger War Eagle. So we're getting into day 2 of the NFL draft, and the elephant in the room, no pun intended. I hate to bring that. Well, actually, Alabama doesn't go by the elephants anyway. They go by the Crimson Tide, yet they have an elephant on the sideline. It's real interesting, especially when they try to say, well, we don't know what our mascot is, but God damn it, you don't know what your mascot is either, War Eagle. So we're second day of the draft. Of course, Alabama dominates the NFL draft with wide receivers, with running backs, with quarterbacks, blah, 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 blah. But it just gives a bigger picture as to where Auburn is in this NFL draft stratosphere and why it's pretty difficult prior to the Brian Harsin regime, why it's been pretty difficult to recruit. Because let's look at even the top recruits of Auburn in the last few years. Talk about Derrick Brown, Marlon Davidson. Okay, that's generational talent. You got Carlton Davis. I mean, superiorly talented guy. Then you got Noah Igbenogany, who I didn't expect to go in the first round, but he's talented as well. It's probably one of the best position changes in Auburn history, in my opinion, outside of Carlos Dansby going from wide receiver to linebacker and all but stating the case to be a Hall of Fame linebacker in the NFL. But when we look at all the other guys who have had to... Oh, Kerryon Johnson wasn't too bad. With the epic season in 2017 that catapulted him into draft status. Otherwise, I mean, that thing was looking kind of shaky for Kerryon Johnson because, you know, Cameron Petway was the guy. They didn't particularly seem to believe in Kerryon Johnson, and he just kind of, you know, took the bull by the horns and it just took matters in his own hands. Next thing you know, he's one of the, you know, recent great running backs at Auburn. Obviously, he's obviously the last 1,000+ yard rusher at Auburn. We're going to see if Tank Bigsby kind of kicks him off his throne there. But I think that here's the thing that troubles me about a team like Auburn, a team that won a national championship in 2010, a team that subsequently the following year, you know, went to a bowl game, then they had the epic collapse, and then onboards Gus Malzahn, who takes the team in 2013 to the national championship, a few seconds away. Probably if Auburn would have had some taller receivers, that drive would have never happened. Auburn wins 2 national championships in a 3-year span, which is unheard of for a lot of teams, but definitely unheard of for Auburn, and that puts them in the same stratosphere with Alabama at that time. That was their opportunity to do so. That was actually their opportunity to possibly be where Clemson is now, but that's a entirely different conversation. But my issue is now you have a team like Auburn who compete against some of the most highly recruited players in the country, who says they want to win a national championship, says they even want to win the SEC West, says they might even make a case for a national championship. I mean, not a national championship, but a SEC championship, having to compete with the likes of Texas A&M, LSU, Alabama, and now Ole Miss with Lane Kiffin is now in the conversation. Mike Leach, I don't think that bullshit ass air raid offense is going to work, but You still got him in the mix. See, the reason why I don't think it'll work, because I just think the secondaries, even the lower tier secondaries in the SEC, are just really too good to allow some bullshit like that to happen. Now, if they add a somewhat elite running game to the mix, then it could possibly work. Now, let's get back on track. So, Auburn, day 2, NFL draft, still no one has been picked. You got Seth Williams, you got Anthony Schwartz, you have KJ Britt. All of these guys on the bubble. Some very talented guys. But how many of you all are shocked that none of these... As a matter of fact, before some of these guys even got hurt or even going into the season, based on the developmental situation with these guys and based on some of the outcomes on the field, yeah, we got some feel-good stuff going on. But that feel-good shit doesn't work in the NFL. They want some talent. They want some genuine, real-deal talent. It's going to be interesting to see when Auburn starts to hit the board with the NFL. But it goes to show, even looking at the future, that's one of the things that Brian Harsin has to look at, and I think he's done that. I think he's put some guys in the league at Boise State. You know? I think that's what he's going to be looking at, like getting these guys to the next level, because most of these guys, you look at the backgrounds, you look at certain situations, man, if they don't make it to the NFL, I'm not saying that they're not going to make it in subsequent life, but that's a big portion as to why they come to these Power 5 schools, to get this exposure, to possibly get into the NFL, and Auburn has dropped the ball, baby. They have dropped the ball big time over the last few years. Guys are having to... Matter of fact, going to Auburn and talking about going to the NFL, unless you're an elite talent like Derrick Brown or some of those other guys, you got a better chance at going to Troy or Tuskegee or Alabama State. If Pro Day is going to be your Pro Day, or the damn Senior Bowl is going to be your ticket, where you gotta give that final stance, just like Jamel Dean. I mean, running a 4.40, nobody knew he was that freaking fast. But that's what he had to do to get in the league, when he shouldn't have had to do that. At Auburn, you should not have to do all of these acrobatics to get in the league. And I hope Brian Harsin freaking changes this. All right, YouTube, I'm about to go on a rant. And I'm not going to do it. It reminds me of the video that I did post-Florida game when I rant and raved against Bo Nix. I'm not going to do that tonight. But I still think that it should not take an act of God for an elite athlete at Auburn to make it into the NFL draft. That's my time here. Go ahead and like the video, comment, and subscribe. Make sure you remember what I said at the beginning of the video. I made an appearance on the War Report, also make appearances on Mike Rogers TV, and I'm just all up in your bubble space as far as social media goes. As always, it's great to be an Auburn Tiger, War Eagle.